Uh-oh, this is an extremely risky situation here. Oh dear, well, it's a good thing I planned for it. I actually carried out my risk responses. So I'm going to be a little bit adventurous. I don't think I need this. I'm going to let it fall all the way down into the valley below. Okay, well, let's talk about planned risk responses now. I think I'm balanced and I'm good. So planned risk responses is all about planning for risks. I'm on the high wire. What was my plan? Well, I'll use the pole, but now I'm a pro, I don't need it. I planned my risk response. It was a mitigation strategy. I reduced the possibility of falling off. So let's talk about what we actually do in planned risk responses. We plan how to respond to risk. So let's talk about our inputs. First input, risk management plan. No brainer. You need your risk management plan to understand how to manage risks from start to end, which includes planning responses. Are you working with a big team, a small team? How are you going to gather those responses? Are you going to have interviews? Are you going to lock people in a room? What are you going to do? So that is the risk management plan's relevance here. Let's talk about our risk register. The risk register contains the risks. So with your risk register, you're going to assess what the risks are and how to counteract the risks. So remember, your risk register already has a prioritized list of risks. It has the risks already prioritized. It also has the cost impact of those risks. Now is the time to ask yourself, which ones are we going to attack, and how are we going to attack these risks, and how are we going to maximize the positive risks? So let's talk about our tools and techniques. First tool and technique, strategies for negative risks or threats. There are 4 strategies for negative risks or threats. You can avoid the risks by totally doing something different. You could mitigate the risks by reducing the probability or impact. You can transfer the risk, and transferring the risk has to do with purchase and insurance. You could purchase insurance. You could transfer it to a third party. Final one is you can accept the risk. You could accept the risk on a project and say, well, whatever happens, happens. Now remember, in accepting the risk, you have the passive acceptance and the active acceptance strategies. Let's talk about our next tool and technique, strategies for positive risks or opportunities. These are very similar when you look at the mirror image, because you've got accept on both sides. So in strategies for positive risks or opportunities, you've got accept. You also have something similar to transfer, which is called share, which is giving the risk, part of the risk, all of the risk to a third party to maximize. And you also have enhancing the risk, which is enhancing its probability and its impact, or its impact. And finally, you have exploit the risk, which is to eliminate any possibility of the risk not happening. So we're talking about the possibility of the positive risk not happening. You want to eliminate that. You absolutely want to make it happen. Our next tool and technique is contingent response strategies. And our final tool and technique is expert judgment. How about our outputs from here? As usual, we have project management plan updates and project document updates. Our project document updates will include an updated risk register. The risk register should have all of the responses that you have planned, whether you're going to exploit the positive risks or whether you're going to avoid the negative risk, whatever you decide to do, it should all be in the risk register at this point. And that's part of your project document updates. That in turn will become an input to the next process, control risks. So let's talk about our next process in risk management, control risks.